Hi, Darren Mangum here, the PPM attorney. Just attended a securities law conference in Park City, Utah this past weekend, and it was a great conference. A lot of securities lawyers from all over the country met there. We talked about some of the latest changes that have occurred to federal and state securities laws. And one interesting statistic that came out of the conference was that overwhelmingly the vast majority of offerings and capital that's being raised in the private equity markets is being utilized through Rule 506B, which is your traditional private placement rules, and very, very popular rule to use. But again, still the restrictions on public solicitation still apply, and so you can't go utilizing that exemption to market your offering to the masses or to broadcast or advertise your offering. And so today I wanted to talk about the three most viable exemptions that exist today, in my opinion, if you're wanting to market your offering publicly, like on your website, cold calling, emailing, this sort of thing. There's really only three exemptions from registration that cover you. I mean, aside from having a fully registered offering, which is always an option, the three most commonly used options are number one, regulation crowdfunding, number two, Regulation D, Rule 506C, and then number three, the newly revamped Regulation A+, which really isn't an exemption. It's a form of registration. And so, but those exemptions are really the three pathways that you have to raise capital today, and to enable you to really broadcast the fact that you're marketing your securities to the public. Now, they're not all perfect. Not all of them are, the perfect solution. They all have their various qualifications that you have to meet. In fact, on the link below this video, I will provide you with a link to a summary that I recently gave at a securities law conference not too long ago that really summarizes these various exemptions, and so you can reference that as well. But that way you can see the clear differences between them, but I'll just hit the main highlights. Number one, regulation crowdfunding, very popular, but it allows you to market your offering to accredited non-accredited investors. But the only problem with regulation crowdfunding is that you have to go through a portal or a registered broker-dealer to offer it. You could not advertise it on your website. You can't, in fact, if you ran into an investor on the golf course, you would have to direct them to your portal. And so, and it's capped at $1 million. Most of my clients, $1 million is not enough to really execute their business plan. And so the fact that those kind of limitations make it, not very attractive. I mean, still a viable option if that fits what you need, but again, most of the time, most of my clients need more capital than that. Regulation D, Rule 506C, obviously allows you to publicly solicit, advertise your offering, cold calling, so long as you target accredited investors only. And most of the time, those are the type of investors you're trying to go after anyway. The main advantage to 506C is that obviously you can advertise. There's no, as long as the information you're putting out there is truthful and accurate, then you can certainly advertise through any different medium like email, Google AdWords, what have you. And so it's a very viable option. One of the things to keep in mind, though, is that you can't have any non-accrediteds in your deal. It would just you cannot have any non-accrediteds, and the accredited investors that you do have in, you have to take reasonable steps to verify that they are in fact accredited. So those are a little bit additional steps that you have to do that, but that's certainly what a lot of clients do is do that. Those first two exemptions that I mentioned, Regulation D regulation crowdfunding and Regulation D Rule 506, those two exemptions can be prepared within about a 30-day time period. Regulation A, however, it's commonly referred to as Regulation A+, that's a 4 to 6 month process, and that obviously needs approval by the SEC, and that is a lot more expensive. But at the end of the day, once you get your Regulation A offering approved, you can offer it, especially if you're offering under under tier 2, which means you're raising up to between 20 to 50 million within a 12-month period. You can advertise your offering. I mean, it is a publicly registered offering, and you can advertise your offering, and certainly and a lot of clients are using that as a way to even take their companies public. And so these various exemptions that I've mentioned, they're not, you shouldn't look at them as like an either or. It really depends upon where you are in the cycle of your company. You can always start out with regulation crowdfunding, move on to 506C, and then move on to Regulation A at different phases along the way. And so anyway, but like I said, you can happy to send you a summary, simple summary of those, the pros and cons, and different like a comparison chart of these different exemptions. And again, always happy to chat with you and answer any questions you might have. Feel free to reach out to me at theppmattorney.com, or you can send me an email to darren@mangumlaw.net, or you can give me a call on my cell phone anytime. But anyway, thank you for watching. Hopefully these videos are helpful, and look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thank you.